The whole point of the Pomodoro technique as well is I'll generally do two, maybe three tasks, three half-an-hour tasks or two half-an-hour tasks. But then you always take a break. So your brain knows, hey, I've got to focus right now, but I am going to take a break. So I'll walk away from my computer. I'll go make a cup of tea. I'll go say hello to someone, or I'll walk outside for 5 minutes. Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here, and I want to talk about focus. It's so important. It's so important. And this was an issue for me. And I want to talk about my experience, about how I dealt with this issue, because it's a big problem for us. We are sitting on a device. We have a device in our hands, and most of us have a device in front of us, which is the everything machine. So everything that's happening all around the world is on this machine, in our hands, and for most of us in front of us too. And everything that happens to our friends, all of our interesting things that happens to our friends, is on this device. And everything that happens in the world, every little thing that happens in the world. And, you know, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, it almost looks like a to-do list these days. It's like a to-do list where we have our list of stuff that's happened recently. We've got to go through all this, or else you're missing out what your friends are doing. And it's not only like a to-do list. It's almost like a slot machine. So there's an addiction. So you pull it down, it spins, and all your new stuff comes up. It's like a slot machine. And it can be useful. Hey, you know, it can be useful keeping contact with people. People are locked down. If you can't leave your house, you can still know what's going on for people. When people go away on holidays, people do things. They have occasions you can't go to. You can still keep in contact and you know what's going on. Isn't that great? It's a great time we live in. It's a great time we live in. But then you're sitting down. You're sitting down and you have a list of things to do. And we all want to build the lives we want to build. And we have a list of things that we need to go through. And we take a look at the first thing. And then we take a quick look at Facebook. Take a few seconds, have a quick look at Facebook. Hey, and then you go into Instagram and you see something there that makes you, I'll take a look at it, go into YouTube. And I think we've all had the experience of, I want to get to bed at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm going to go to bed at 10, and then I'll open up TikTok for 5 minutes. And you scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. Then you look at the clock and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, where did that time go? Where did that time go? And I used to be very proud of the fact that I didn't watch TV. I don't watch TV. No, I don't watch TV. But what's the point in cutting out TV if the time is spent on social media? Now, I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm talking about me for the most part. If all your time is spent on social media, if you're scrolling, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, especially when you're in work. Because most of the time when you're in work, there's a goal. There's things that have to get done. And there's a goal. This is a huge problem for me. So what helped me? What helped me is the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique helped me with this issue. And I put on a timer. Now I put it on my watch, which I find great. But I put on a timer. And you also use a Trello board. I use a Trello board. And this may work for you, may not work for you. I'm just talking about my experience and what I did and what worked for me. So it's a Trello board. Each card on a Trello board, you've worked it out. You've broken down all your tasks. So each card on a Trello board is like a 30-minute task. More or less. Could be less. Could be more. Sometimes it works out to be more. It doesn't matter. I get my watch out, I put a 30-minute timer on. And then there's a countdown. So, if I'm working away, if I'm doing my thing, if I get distracted for seconds, distractions happen. Distractions happens all the time. Especially today, we're so distracted. And we get a phone call, we get another email, we get a ping. I've turned off pings on my emails. Put on focus. I'll put on focus because I can't be dealing with emails coming in. I can't be dealing with messages or WhatsApp messages and that kind of thing. Definitely deal with them. But what I need to do, I'm easily distracted. So what I need to do is I need to have a time. So this 30-minute block, I'm going to go through all my messages. I'm going to go through my emails. I'm going to go through my WhatsApp messages and any other messages. And I'll have a look at Facebook at time or whatever. But, so I do the Pomodoro technique. So I'll take my first card in Trello. I want to get this done. This isn't the next thing. It's going to get done. And I put my timer on. 30 minutes. So I'm aware. I'm always aware. There's a timer. There's a timer. There's a timer. I'm always aware of that timer. So I've got to get this thing done. And it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. You could be 15 minutes into a task and you get a phone call and you have to deal with that phone call. Or you get an urgent email that has to be dealt with right now. That sometimes happens, and that's life. That's your job. So we have to do sometimes. So, and sometimes you do still get distracted, but even with a timer on. I have a 30-minute timer. This has to be finished in 30 minutes. It puts some pressure on you. But even then, sometimes you'll get distracted with something. A notification will come up. One of your friends did something on Facebook, whatever it is. And sometimes it'll take more than 30 minutes. Sometimes the task that you have in front of you just is going to take more than 30 minutes. But the Pomodoro technique is a section of time. It can be any section. I'll use 30 minutes because 30 minutes is good for me. It can be 10 minutes. But you know there's a timer on. And you know you're supposed to finish this task when that timer finishes. And the timer goes off. So you're way... your time is counting down. You're aware of it. This works really well in marketing. This offer is only available for the next 3 hours, and there's a timer counting down on the website. Jesus, I better buy it quick. So I want this offer. Don't want to miss out on the offer. So it helps with focus too. This timer is counting down. This task has to be done in the next 30 minutes. In the next 25 minutes, in the next 20 minutes, in the next 15 minutes. The timer is counting down, your time is going. So you focus on getting it done. You focus better on getting it done. It's never perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. But this Pomodoro technique gives you more focus because you're aware that your time is running out. Your time is literally running out. And you have X amount of tasks to get done every day. And some tasks just take more than half an hour. And you can give yourself an hour. And the whole point of the Pomodoro technique as well is I'll generally do 2, maybe 3 tasks, 3 half-an-hour tasks or 2 half-an-hour tasks. But then you always take a break. So your brain knows, hey, I've got to focus right now, but I am going to take a break. So I'll walk away from my computer. I'll go make a cup of tea. I'll go say hello to someone, or I'll walk outside for 5 minutes. So your brain knows that's coming. You're going to get a break. You're going to get a break. But right now you've got to focus. So it helps. It helps in this world where we have the everything machine in our hand and in front of us, probably 2 or 3 screens, where we can see anything. See absolutely anything. What's going on in the world right now? What's my friend doing? We need focus. We really, really need focus. And focus is the one thing that is lacking today. Information is not lacking. We've got too much information. But focus is lacking. And that's why today, the Pomodoro technique is the most needed thing in every single office. And a good agile way of working, Trello board or whatever you use, Asana or whatever, it doesn't matter. A good agile way of working. And breaking tasks down into 30-minute segments can't always be done. But if it can be done, it's a great way to make sure you're focusing and you're getting things done. It's been Alan here. So I want to talk quickly about focus. So important today.